Hello, welcome to Study with Lavanya. Today we are going to see the research methodology. In research methodology, already we have seen regarding the research design and the introduction of research and the research design. Now we are going to see regarding the sampling. Next step it is the sampling. Okay. So what is mean by sampling? So when we are going to the market or when we are going to do shopping, we want to buy something. As such, we won't buy. First, we will be seeing one by one. For example, if you want to buy a apple, we'll take one and we'll touch and we'll see. And when we feel if it is a good only, we'll buy the 1 kg of apple. Okay, so that is one of the apple we are taking as a sample to determine it is a good one or whether we can buy that apple or not. Okay, so that is the sample. That means we are identifying the good one. Okay, so that is sample. In case of sampling from the whole population, we are determining the study population, that is known as the sampling. We want to do a research study for a particular group of people. To identify that particular group of people, we will be following some of the techniques to identify the particular group of people, that is known as the sampling. Okay. So that is the process of selecting a number of individuals for a study in such a way that the individual represents the larger group. When we are selecting the sample, that people is the representative from the larger population. So when we are applying any new methods to that particular people, when we are getting the effectiveness, it can be applied to the larger people. The generalization is possible when we are making the research study in a smaller group. So that study population is known as the samples. Okay. So we will move on to the definition of sample. That is, the sample method involves taking a representative selection of the population and using the data collected as a research information. Okay, or otherwise we can say it is a subgroup of population. It is a subgroup of population. Okay, it is the definition given by the Stack and Hawking in 1999 as a way of obtaining a group of people or objects to the study that were representative of a larger population or universe of interest. That is, we are selecting a representative people. For example, if you are taking the classroom, as a whole we can't able to give all the information, so we'll be selecting one of the person as a class leader. So we are making a representative. That means the information will be communicated through the representative, or some of the responsibilities will be carried out by the representatives. Okay, or he or she will be communicating the information as a whole. As a whole, the information will be carried to the teacher. Okay, thus representation of the group. The one people we are selecting, it is the representative person from the larger population. That is called that sample. Okay, so sampling is a process of selecting representative units from an entire population. In the whole population, we are going to select a sum of the people, that is the study population. So the target population, that is, see, for example, in the previous classes we have discussed regarding the occupational hazards. Okay, so here when we want to identify the occupational hazards, the company, see for example textile company, the people who is working under the textile company is considered as the target population. Okay, in this target population, the source of population, from that we will be taking a samples, that is called that study population. From that, see for example in the textile company around 500 to 1000 people they are working. All the people we can't able to do the research study. The some of the people we will be selecting, in that people will be making a research, or the independent variable will be manipulated and we will be seeing the effectiveness. Okay, so that samples are considered as the study population. They are considered as the representative of the larger population. So here the target population or the whole population, that is the people who is working in the textile company is considered as the target population. From that we are getting the source, that is list of people, that is the source. How many members are working, that is the source. From that we are taking the study population. Study population in the sense the who is coming under the research study, that is the study population. Okay, so here the sample, it is the smaller or the representative unit from the larger population. It is given by the Field 2005. The sampling frame, in the some of the terminologies we have to know for the sample design. Okay, so first one, sample, it is the sub unit. Okay, the representative unit from the larger population, it is considered as the sample. Sampling frame, so what is called that frame? See, for we can see that photo frame. So the photo will be fixing on that. So in the sampling frame, in the sense, we will be having all the elements will be fixed on the frame. That means the list of elements, list of the population. See, 500 people, if 500 people working in the textile company, that all the people, the 500 members, name of the 500 members will be considered as the sampling frame. That is, we will be listing down all the names, all the population in that sampling frame. Okay, so from that only we are going to select the samples. Okay, that is the list of all elements. It is known as the sampling frame. Next it comes the population, the larger group from which individuals are selected, that is the population. And the target population, it is an element larger than the different from the population, that is target population. See, for example, there are in the universe or the if we want to do a study on the occupational hazard, our target is textile companies alone. Okay, textile companies, that is the target area, that people are called target population. That is we are going to do a study on that people. From the target population we are going to take a study population. Okay, so the target population where we are determining the samples. Okay, in the target population we are making a sampling frame. Sampling frame in the sense the list of people, all the people will be listed down, all the elements has to be given equal chance, all the elements has to be listed down. That is called that sampling frame. Okay, from the sampling frame only we are going to select the samples. That means we'll be having a inclusion criteria. According to our criteria or according to the systematic sampling, we will be selecting the people for the study. That study population is known as the sample. Are you understanding? So what are the purpose of the sampling? Sampling in the sense, sampling means, see, when we want to do a study, we can't able to do study in a general population. For the whole population, if you are doing, it will be very costly, and we can't able to adopt that method. We can't able to reach to all the population. That's why we are selecting a representative people from the larger population. So when we are selecting the smaller unit, it is easily reachable and economically it is very benefited to the researcher. Otherwise it will be very the cost wise it will be high. Okay, so first purpose, it is the economic, very economic. When we are doing the, see for example, if you want to assess the blood sugar level of the diabetic people, there are many diabetic cases in the worldwide, or the in area wise also, it will be in all the families, the diabetic people. So all the people we can't able to do a blood sample. So we will be taking a smaller group of people, and we can able to see, for example, around 5,000 people, mostly above 3,000 people, we have the diabetic population. In that, all the people we can't able to do a study. So from that we will be selecting 30 to 100 or 300, like that we will determine the samples, and in that smaller group we can able to economically it will be benefited. So we can able to do easily, we can reach all the people. If you are selecting the 300 people, it is easy to reach than the 3,000 people. Okay, so that is economically it is benefited to the researcher, and it will improve the quality. See, for example, for the 3,000 people, if you want to collect the data, the quality of the data will be getting reduced. Instead of that, if you are concentrating only the 300, we will be giving more attention to all the samples. So it improves the quality of data. And other one, quick to do the study. The researcher easily can able to complete the study, and the accuracy also will be higher when we are taking a smaller size of the samples. Okay, but when the size is smaller, we will not be getting that much accuracy. So the sample size should be about 30 to 500, so we can able to get accuracy. Okay, and the next one, it is accessibility, easy accessibility to the population. So in the general population, say for example 3,000 people means we can't able to reach to all the people. So if it is a smaller group, easily we can approach all the people. That is the easy accessibility, and timely we can able to complete. See for example, within this 6 months period we have to do the data collection procedure. So 3,000 people we can't able to do. As a sample, we have to make a smaller size as a representative from the larger population, and we can able to complete the research study in a stipulated time. Okay, and the researcher will be getting a greater cooperation from this samples, because direct approach will be present and will be communicating freely with the sample. So they will be getting a greater cooperation to the researcher, and the researcher also can able to maintain the confidentiality of the samples. Okay, so whatever information they are giving to us, it can be maintained in a low profile manner. See, for example, when we are considering the 300 people's data, it will be easily stored instead of 3,000 people. Okay, so these are the purpose of sampling. First one, economically benefited, and quality of the data will be higher, and quick study results. Okay, we can quickly do the research study, and the accuracy of the data will be proper. Okay, easily we can analyze. Okay, and we can generalize the results. Okay, and the easy accessibility to the samples, and timely completion of the research study, and the researcher will be getting the greater cooperation, and the profile whatever we are getting from the samples, it can be stored easily. Okay, so these are the purpose of sampling. So next one, sampling design process. how the sampling design is, how we are going to do the sampling design. So first one, we have to define a population. We have to define a population. First one, defining the population. Define population. Okay, this is the first step. First we have to identify the population. Next one, we have to make a sampling frame. Sampling frame. So I told the frame, in the sense we have to get all the elements list, the list of people, that is called the frame. List of all elements. Elements in the sense, for example, if you are considering the textile company, so the people whomever is working in the textile company is considered as an element. So we have to get all the list without skipping any person. We have to make a list, that is called that sampling frame. Next we have to decide the sampling procedure. Sampling procedure. So here the sampling procedure may be, it is the probability and the non-probability. Probability and the non-probability. Okay. So under this probability and non-probability, we will have a different types of sampling. In this probability in the sense, we are giving an equal chance to everybody. The textile company, if you are taking all the elements, all the 500 people or the 1000 people will be given the chance to participate in the research study. So that is the probability. In the non-probability, in the sense, it is according to the researcher's convenience, they will be selecting the samples. Okay. So in this probability sampling, we will be having a simple random sampling, stratified sampling and the cluster sampling. The types we will be dealing later. And the non-probability will have a convenience, purposive, quarter sampling and the snowball sampling. So we have to determine which, after that, according to this sampling technique, we have to determine the sample size. Sample size. Okay, then execute the sampling design and execute the sampling design. Sampling design. Okay, this is the sampling design process. How the sampling has to be done for selecting the samples. First, we have to identify the population, in which group of people we are going to do a study, and we have to make a sampling frame, that is all the elements. See, for example, if you want to do a study in a district, one district, if you want to make a study, means the whole district, in that which area. See, for example, in the schools, if you want to collect the education, how the education is, the new technology is imparted in the schools, means the certain schools will be selected. In that, all the samples, the list of all the persons will be included in the sampling frame. Okay, and the next one, we have to decide in which way we have to do a procedure for the sampling. There are two types of sampling, that is the probability sampling and the non-probability. We have to determine which one we are going to use. In case of this larger population, we have to go with the random, that is the probability sampling. Non-probability, when the study we are going to perform in a smaller groups, or the cases will be very lesser. In that cases, we will be using this non-probability sampling, and we have to determine how many samples we are going to use for the research study, and we have to use the sampling design, whether it is the probability sampling design or the non-probability sampling. Okay. So here in this sampling design, in the population, it is considered as the universe. Okay, in this all the people, we have the finite. The universe can be finite or the infinite. Okay, so we have to determine which population we are going to use for the study. Okay. And the sampling unit means in which area we are going to do. See, for example, there may be particular geographical area we will be doing a research study, or particular tribal community, or the hilly areas we will be selecting, or the villages, or the districts. So that is called that sampling unit. Okay. Next one, source of list or the sampling frame. Sampling frame in the sense all the elements we will be collecting. All the elements has to be included in the sampling frame. And the size of the sample, that is according to our study. We have to determine the size of the sample. According to the total population, we will be selecting the size of the sample. Okay. And the parameters of the interest, what we are going to observe or what we are going to identify on that research. Okay, that is the parameters. And the budgetary constraint, when we are doing the study, we have to think about the budget. Okay, how much we are going to spend for this research study. So when the sample size is getting increased, the budget also will be getting increased. So we have to determine the size. Okay. And the sampling, finally we will be deciding what sampling procedure we have to adopt to select the samples. Okay. So these are the steps involved and the terminologies what we are using in the sampling design process. Okay. So we will be continuing in the next part.